Elizabeth is a firecracker of a lawyer.
There are literally fangirls and fanboys all over the city of Washington, D.C., and dare I say across the nation, of Elizabeth Prelogar. I mean, you run into whoever when I'm at a legal bar association meeting and people find out that I worked at the Justice Department, they'll say, "Do you know Elizabeth Prelogar?"
Watching Elizabeth argue is like watching Michael Jordan play basketball. It is watching a master on the court or in the court, and it's just a joy and a privilege.
I've got a lot on the line there, really, having told everybody she's like one of our greatest advocates. But she never disappoints. This is the thing about Elizabeth. She just never disappoints.
One thing that particularly stands out is her ability to tell me when I was wrong. In almost all cases, she was right and I was wrong.
She took on some of the toughest battles at the Supreme Court and did so in just such a fearless way.
With respect to responsibility in particular, our understanding of what history and tradition reflect and how this court has used the term is that it's identifying those whose possession of firearms presents an unusual danger beyond the ordinary citizen.
Everyone understood what was riding on Rahimi.
I think in very real terms, the Rahimi case meant for people on the street that in circumstances where they had a domestic violence protective order entered to try to prevent their intimate partner from being able to engage in further acts of violence, that there was an enforcement mechanism to keep guns out of that person's hand.
I believe she said at argument something along the lines of, and I'm going to paraphrase, the difference between a battered woman and a dead woman is a gun.
It's about really understanding what's really deeply at stake in the case, and there, for example, ensuring that domestic violence survivors are able to be shielded from potential threats from their abusers, obviously is a massively important issue and one that she was able to give voice to in a way that really brought a coalition of the court together.
We're following the very high-stakes U.S. Supreme Court hearing right now on emergency abortion care. Let's listen in right now. The U.S. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar and Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson are going back and forth.
She wasn't just thinking about the legal landscape, but she was always centering the real harm that would happen to real people around the country after the Dobbs decision. It was very top of mind for her. Women were bleeding out literally in parking lots, unable to get medical care or being turned away from hospitals when they needed emergency care. This was always about the people that were going to be harmed by this decision.
I've always thought that the most important thing is to make the right arguments for the right reasons to the best of your ability to try to protect individuals in the United States and to secure their rights. And sometimes that's all you can do, and sometimes maybe it will lead to some unexpected victories.
I have 2 daughters and a young son, and when I see her on TV, that's my law partner. That's someone I know. That's someone I work with.
One thing that often people don't know about Elizabeth is that in addition to the moots before an argument that she does with other lawyers, she moots every single argument with her 2 children. She makes sure that she can persuade them, and if she can persuade them, then she feels pretty good going into court.
The first time that I tried out my introduction for my kids before an oral argument and asked them my score, my older son gave me a 10 out of 10. I was feeling pretty good about this. He thought my intro was very good. But then my younger one, who was quite little at the time, I think he was 8 or 9, he said, "Mom, I give you an 11 out of 10, but I didn't understand a word you just said." And so I said to him, "How did I get an 11 out of 10? And he said, "Because we're a family and we support each other." And I have thought about that in just about every other argument I've had since.
She is a generational talent, and I hope and expect for her sake and for the sake of the American people that she will find her way back to the government and be in a position to represent this country.
I think you'd get the same answer from everyone here where we would want to see Elizabeth in 15 years, and it's sitting on the other side of the bench from where she was arguing.
I would be thrilled and excited to see the day where she is in that black robe and serving on our nation's highest court.